Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Irad, and today we have another Star Citizen ship talk. Now, it's been a while, and it looks like we might have our first leaked list of potential ship reveals for this year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, which, by the way, should coincide with the release of Alpha 4.4. Now, as always, take this with a grain of salt. These leaks haven't been officially confirmed by Cloud Imperium, so I still think that they do line up, however, with what we have seen in recent and not so recent development patterns. So without further ado, let's get started. And so, we're going to start with the first ship that is on this list. It's not a surprise at all. It's, of course, the RSI Perseus. Now, we have known about this one for quite a while, and it is of course a large gunship developed by Rober Space Industries, designed to sit between a corvette and a destroyer in terms of firepower. The Perseus is all about heavy-hitting broadside combat. It is built to punch above its weight class, as John Crew would say, taking on targets much larger than itself, while still being small enough to operate without a massive crew. It comes equipped with two massive size 7 guns, each manned independently controlled, and plus a pair of remote turrets for additional defense. It is not particularly fast or agile, and however, it's going to max its speed here to make up with sheer stopping power. So that's going to be a sluggish ship, but it's going to definitely be a dangerous ship. Originally announced back in 2020, the Perseus has been in development for quite some time. We have seen concept art, early grey box models, and mentions in various monthly reports. Seeing it tied to this year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo therefore makes total sense. If the leaks are accurate, of course, the Perseus could finally make it to being hangar ready by Alpha 4.4, which would easily be one of the biggest highlights of the event. Next, we have the RSI Hermes, which is rumored to be a cargo variant of the RSI Apollo. This idea actually makes a lot of sense. In Greek mythology, Hermes was not only Apollo's half-brother, but was also the messenger of the gods, the one who traveled freely and carried important deliveries between worlds. Naming a cargo ship after him fits perfectly within RSI's naming tradition. From a design perspective, this could also be a very smart move from RSI. The Apollo already has a very solid chassis. It was built as a medical ship, but its layout, cargo hold, and modular compartment suggest that the frame could easily be adapted for other roles. Turning it into a medium cargo ship would not only make full use of that design, but also give RSI a competitor in the mid-tier holding category between small civilian holders like the Freelancer and larger ships such as the Constellation Taurus. A medium cargo ship from RSI will also fill a long missing gap in their civilian lineup. The company has fighters, explorers, and even capital-class vessels, but nothing that directly caters to everyday cargo holders. The Hermes could finally bring that balance to give RSI a proper alternative to the Constellation, which seriously needs a rework and should be repurposed into a mini-corvette role, in my opinion. Next on the list is a Greycat vehicle called the MDC. Not much is known about it yet. If the leaks are accurate, this could be very well that small pickup style utility vehicle that we briefly saw during a CitizenCon presentation. It looked like a lightweight, open-bed transport truck designed to move cargo, equipment, or even small crates between outposts. Something simple, rugged, and practical, exactly what you would expect from Greycat Industrial. The name itself also fits their usual pattern. The M could probably stand for mobility or multipurpose, while DC might refer to delivery carrier or depot carrier. In other words, a small surface vehicle focused on short-distance logistics rather than heavy hauling or mining. In any case here, the MDC could become a very useful addition for frontier players building surface operations or managing local cargo runs. Next on the list is the Kruger L-22 Alpha Wolf. Now, the Wolf is already in the game, of course. It's a compact light fighter known for its speed, responsiveness, and ballistic focus weaponry. So the Alpha here is almost certainly a variant rather than an entirely new ship. The most likely scenario is that the Alpha Wolf will feature different bespoke weapon setups, possibly replacing the original ballistic guns with energy or laser counterparts. That would make sense both from a gameplay and a manufacturer perspective, giving players here a choice between two distinct combat styles while staying within the same familiar frame. That being said, there's always the chance that Kruger could surprise us. The Alpha branding could also hint at something a bit more perhaps experimental, perhaps a racing-tuned version of the Wolf designed for high-speed performance instead of combat. with the growing popularity of ship racing within certain parts of the community, and also maybe the eventual return of time trials one day, well, a racing-focused world variant would fit perfectly into Star Citizen's expanding ecosystem of competitive flight. Moving forward, we have the Drake Clipper. Now, we don't have any official details yet, but I personally hope that this is the so-called baby Corsair that everybody's been talking about since last year's CitizenCon, and that we saw the silhouette at this CitizenCon, by the way. You can see it right here in the picture. I mean, even from that shadowy image, you could clearly recognize the distinctive shapes of the Corsair's wings, and it would make sense for CIG to reuse that recognizable design for a smaller and perhaps more affordable ship. If the Clipper really is a compact version of the Corsair, it could slot neatly here between the Cutlass and the Corsair, offering a ship that keeps the same rugged Drake aesthetics and asymmetrical design, but with fewer crew requirements and a lighter price tag. It would likely maintain versatility for exploration or light combat while making the iconic Corsair design accessible to more players. Drake's philosophy has always been about being practical and giving modular ships to pilots, and the Clipper could continue that trend, giving pilots a smaller long-range and multi-role option without sacrificing the signature Drake style. Finally, there is a mention of an RSI Salvation. Now, I don't think that this is going to be the ship's final name, but it immediately draws attention because it has been linked to an RSI salvage ship that was previously teased. During a Star Citizen live episode, CIG confirmed that an RSI salvage ship was indeed in development, and while no details were given at the time, we should still expect this ship to be flight ready at the IAE because, well, CIG don't want to be selling concepts anymore. So anyway, these are of course still leaks, nothing is officially confirmed, but even if half of this turns out to be true, we are in for a very interesting showcase. It's shaping up to be one of the most interesting expos in recent memory, and it could also give us a good glimpse of what Alpha 4.4 will bring to Star Citizen. But of course, as always, I want to hear what you think. Which of these ships are you most excited to see? Do you hope for the Alpha Wolf to be with lasers, or perhaps are you more interested in a compact Drake Clipper? Let me know in the comment section down below. That is all for this video. Thank you so much. As always, I wouldn't be able to make all of these without my Patreon and YouTube members. If you like the content and you want to support more, you have the links in the description down below. As always, a big shout out to Dr. Flobin, Soul Carter Sisters, The Key to Docker, Shadowrise, and Zero Crusher. I have been Irad, and I'll see you guys in the next one.